So, it seems like getting Sid's airship is not an option anymore, but luckily, getting onto the Dreadnaught won't actually be too difficult. So, you're definitely going to want a Chocobo for this because we're actually going to be crossing the desert. It's one of the fastest ways to get to the destination, and, well, yeah, this is the Palamasian Desert, and it's got some pretty tough enemies in it. Also, yeah, there's a mountain range over here. You might want to pay attention to a few landmarks. In fact, these right here, the only landmarks you really need to acknowledge in this entire desert, but they will become important later. For now, we need to go south of the desert, and around here, much to our convenience, the Dreadnaught is docked. Why? I don't know. I mean, I can understand why they would want to go for Sid's ship, for reasons you'll see in a bit, but why did they dock? Seriously, it would be impossible for us to get to the Dreadnaught if they didn't dock. But whatever, if you just give this guy a pass, then he won't fight you. Be warned though, if you didn't get the pass, you do have to fight a captain. And speaking of captains, all these guys, yeah, captain enemies. Thankfully though, we're about at the point in the game which we can actually take these guys on, because, as you can see, we actually survived a shot from them. Now, killing them can be pretty difficult, unless, of course, you have some good one-hit kill spells like Teleport. And he's out in an instant. So, with that, hopefully we get some good items. No, we did not. And yeah, as I believe I said earlier, captain enemies don't actually disappear from the map when you kill them, which we will need to know. Now, I do want to move on, but first I want to see if I can get any good items off these guys, because seriously, they have some really good items on them. But they don't seem to be giving them away. Well, the first one didn't. This guy might. You have anything good? You have anything good, dude? I would really like to know, because there's one item. Okay, Flame Bow is good, but it's not what I'm looking for, because I don't have any bow users. What I'm looking for is actually the Toad Tome, which I definitely want for the next set, because, yeah, oh, by the way, for some reason you can't open that cell, but there is a secret passage to it. Oh, crap, magicians. Oh boy, mage enemies have been introduced. Now, this isn't the most difficult set of enemies, but, yeah, magicians can be pretty tough. And this is just the first coloring of them. Recolors can be really annoying. Seriously. Because these guys know, I believe, Blind, Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, Scourge, Berserk, and Sleep. They don't have the best of spells, but again, yeah, their recolors will be tough when we eventually run into those guys, and if magicians appear in large groups, they can be annoying as hell to take on. And unfortunately, they're actually in the back row. Now, killing soldiers shouldn't be a problem, but that sergeant was a problem because, of course, well, if you don't kill him first, then you can't kill the magician since he's in the very front row. I don't believe I've actually mentioned it up... Oh, crap, there's blind. This is gonna suck. Yeah, that's bad. But yeah, I don't believe I've mentioned this before, but you can't actually attack enemies behind 2 rows. You can attack enemies in the first 2 rows, but anything behind that, you can't attack. Now, if you kill the second row of enemies but not the first, that still technically counts as a row. Like, you actually need to be able to get to the 3rd row from, you know, wherever it was. So if there's like a first row that you didn't kill, then yeah, they're still in the way, and you can only attack those 2 guys. So if we left the sergeant alive, even if we killed the other soldiers first, yeah, we couldn't have attacked anyone else, because he would have just been, you know, standing there in front of them. There would be a good distance between them all, but nonetheless, still couldn't attack them. Because logic, I guess. Oh, and Gordon gets put to sleep because magic defense kinda sucks, because I haven't really been training him, because again, not really worth it. I've just had him hit himself a few times, you know, in battles that I cut out. So his HP isn't terrible at the very least, so he survives things, he's just not that good at killing. Oh, and of course, well, these guys don't have much HP, which is good, because their magic defense is predictably pretty good. But the nice thing about mage enemies is they do have some really good tome drops. In fact, they're actually the source of quite a few of the tomes that you can get for black magic. So, Max hasn't really had anything to work with other than, just the starting spells like Fire, Blizzard, and all that. So, now that we've hit mage enemies, he should be getting some better stuff soon, which is good, because, well, I want better stuff. So, yeah, unfortunately... Yeah, Suna's kinda useless in battle, since it will fail a lot of the time. Thanks very much for that. I totally love it when spells screw up. That's totally fun. And holy crap, I'm already low on MP. That's not actually good. Yeah, that'll have to be good enough, because I'm running out of MP. And oh, of course! Were-Panthers! Were-Panthers are actually, if not tough enemies, then fairly annoying enemies, because they hit relatively hard, they're fast, and as you can see, they cause poison, and I hate them, personally. And they also have good defense, so in general they just kinda suck, and jeez. Okay, speaking of suck, Sleep Blade, no. That was terrible, Sleep Blade. You can do better than that. See, look, Gordon just got 83 damage. What are you gonna do, Sleep Blade? Come on, I want to see it. Oh, and you attack last. Wow, he's slow. Yes, not only does 39 damage, I mean, it did actually cause a status effect, which I must admit is pretty rare in most, Final Fantasy games. Usually most things are resistant to status effects. Okay, so the Sleep Blade sometimes causes sleep when it feels like it, but it really sucks in terms of damage. I'll be honest, I might actually remove that, because it's extremely useless. Oh well. Luckily, it's really cheap to use Gordon's cure, so that's going to have to get me by for now. Alright, now, the Dreadnaught itself, since I haven't had the chance to speak of it yet, pretty cool design-wise. I do like the design of it. The layout isn't too bad either. It does start with a bit of a door maze, rather. It's not even really a maze, necessarily. That's just the best name I have for it. Of course, speaking of mazes, I'm pretty sure I'm going the wrong way, because the door up here actually has something we want to do, right? Hope I'm going the right way. You shouldn't get too lost in this dungeon, I just took a wrong path. Actually, yeah, this is a small maze room, which means we definitely need to come here. This is actually a required room, because, hey, look at that! It's Sid and Hilda down there in that cell. But, of course, we need to do the most important thing before we free them, and that, of course, is loot the place. I mean, for crying out loud, they just left things in treasure chests, they're not going to take them, so it's all my stuff now. Got this dark bow, they weren't going to use it, so you know what, I might as well pick it up first. I mean, they're not gonna die in that cell. I mean, I guess, these are objects, so they're not gonna die either, but still, these are more important. Also, apparently we can open this cell, despite the fact that we can open the other one that only contained a relatively useless weapon? That doesn't make sense. The princess is extremely unprotected. Like, you can just literally walk up and open the gate. Nothing is stopping you, except the random encounters that stop you everywhere else. So, we rescued the princess. That wasn't any problem whatsoever. Oh well, anyway, I'm actually going to give the thieves' gloves. I don't know. Should I give them to Dante or Max? I might give them to Max for now, because it would make sense to give my most powerful character the gloves, but then again, Dante does have the good all-around magic. I don't know. I can switch it around later. For now, Max will keep the thieves' gloves, because they do increase agility, so they're good in that regard. Very useful items, and their defense isn't too bad, so you will probably keep these for most of the game. Alright, now we go this way, so we can progress further into the dungeon. You can see the... Actually, that's kind of a neat effect. You can sort of see the guys walking around down there. It's a bit lazy because you can't see the floor, it's just black, but I don't know, I can see what they were trying to do. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I mentioned beforehand, door puzzles in this one aren't really too bad. I mean, this dungeon's pretty neat because it's wide open, it's not really confusing, but it's not just one big hallway. It's not the best dungeon in the game, but it's not bad. Okay, now the Sleep Blade is outright missing. That's great. Anyway, stunner enemies, not that good either. You know, just like the enemies that, you know, the recolors of that we fought just a dungeon ago. They can cause paralysis with their normal attack, but honestly, that's a lot less threatening than poison since paralysis only lasts for a battle, so... Other than the stat change, I would call that a downgrade, to be honest. Giant's Helm, Ice Shield, oh dear, yep! Hillgigus! Remember how dual heads were enemies that, you know, were supposed to be all bulky and stuff and powerful? Hillgigus do a much better job of just being raw power in just a single enemy, because they hit very, very hard, their defense is good, they have good HP, all around, they're really, really tough. God damn this Sleep Blade. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be removing the Sleep Blade, because if it's just going to outright miss all the time, then that's completely useless to me. Anyway, I definitely want to set up my buffs. Oh crap, this is the last thing I have, unfortunately, so... Hopefully, this helps out a... God damn it, Gordon! Oh, I don't like this game. Seriously. Oh, hey, look, one character didn't get protected by that just because you didn't level it up. It's only level 4, so it's still fucking... Oh, God, so it's still fucking useless. Thanks for that game. I'm fighting a very, very powerful enemy. And you have all of these spells screw up completely, and yeah, I'm definitely going to get rid of the Sleep Blade, because that thing is completely useless. I don't have much MP left, but regardless, I've got to use magic, because otherwise Dante's just going to be completely useless in this fight, because, yeah, I shouldn't equip the Sleep Blade, because its accuracy is shite. Oh, hey. Well, at least we got through the battle. That wasn't too bad. Even though the Hillgigus did hit very, very hard, we survived it thanks to the protecting the blink. Thank goodness he didn't, you know, attack anyone who wasn't affected by either of those spells. That would have sucked. Anyway, we got some pretty good items here. Trident is very powerful. I believe the Ice Shield is fairly good as well. Let's see... Yeah, Mangosh, definitely going to be equipping... Okay, I'm going to give the Sleep Blade one more chance, because maybe it'll be useful. I'm gonna regret this choice, aren't I? Hopefully I won't, but I probably will. Anyway, Ice Shield, resistant to fire, fairly useful. Let's see, I believe there was something else. Yeah, I can just give you the Golden Shield, which I think I actually got earlier. Anyway, the Giant's Helm is actually very useful, because not only does it raise defense, but it raises attack as well, which, of course, goes perfectly for Max, because he's the punchy man. He punches things. Now, one more try. I want to get the Toad Tome from these guys. That's a very good drop that they have. But unfortunately, it is kind of rare, so... Oh, shit, I forgot I don't have teleport. Well, I'm fairly certain I can take these guys on anyway, but yeah. Toad Tome would be very useful. I'm not going to use it myself all that much, even though it is a fairly powerful one-hit kill spell. But I have other uses for it, which you'll probably see immediately next set, because I want to get the thing as soon as possible. But I'm pretty sure this guy isn't going to give me a thing. If he does that, it'd be great, but I'm probably going to have to fight some of the captains in Finn. Of course, they don't disappear, and they'll just be lingering around there for a while, so I've got the perfect opportunity to go in, grab a Toad spell, and be on my merry way. So yeah, by this point you can definitely take on captains. I'm not doing too bad against them, they're not doing too much damage against me, and they do still absorb a bit of damage, but not that much more than the sergeants. Anyway, I think we're almost at the end. Oh yeah, this is pretty much the last main floor of the dungeon. Now we've got the captains here, and even though we can beat them, don't bother fighting them, because, of course, if you'll remember, these guys will not disappear after they're killed. They'll just keep standing there, even if you kill them, like nothing ever even happened. And here we have Helldivers. They're not impressive in the slightest. They don't do anything, except attack. They just suck that badly. Sorry, I figured I should have a moment of silence for those poor, pathetic enemies, because they didn't stand a chance, and also I needed a drink, and there was literally nothing else to say about them, so I just figured, whatever. No one cares about Helldivers anyway. Well, here we are at the engine room. No one's guarding this thing, so let's just, casually look through our, items here, and just, you know, toss the Sunfire in. Don't really need to be in a hurry for anything, don't need to be hasty. No reason to be hasty, really. I mean, who's gonna stop us, right? See? Now the engine's on fire, and the whole thing's going down. Oh, hi, Dark Knight, how's it going? Yeah, you probably should have been in front of us. Huh. Apparently Lynx recognizes the voice of this mysterious man who we have not met before. Perhaps she and him have met, but no time to think about that now. We must leisurely pace out of here. Seriously, Sid told us we better rush back to his airship, but we're just gonna, we're gonna walk along like nothing was happening. Like this ship weren't exploding. We're just doing this to spite him, right? Like, oh well, he was kind of mean about how he said, well, you should hurry back. He's not actually going to leave without us, so let's just take our merry time. Just walk out. I mean, nothing's gonna happen. It's just the ship's gonna blow up. No reason to rush. Let's just show every screen of the escape, because I, as a player, would kind of wonder if they just suddenly skipped ahead to, the front of the ship. I mean, how would I have guessed that they walked through it all? I need to see them walk out of every staircase. But, alas, our walking time is over, and the Dreadnaught explodes. Yes, the airship that everyone hyped up, that destroyed 3 towns, blew up just because they decided to dock for no reason. Again, they had to capture Hilda, so I know why they went after Sid, but why did they dock afterwards? Seriously, there was little reason to. And why did they stay docked for so long, anyway? Ah, well, let's just chalk that up to the Empire being dumb. Sid's gonna drop us off in Altair, which is nice because this is right where we need to go, of course, now that we've finally destroyed the Dreadnaught. Well, it was a bit of a roundabout way of doing it, but we completed our task at last, so I guess we should go see the king because people are talking about him. King of Finn, no, you can't die! Anyone but you! Take Gordon instead! And suddenly he developed as a character. The guards would later discover the king did not actually die of depression, he just had a really bad paper cut and bled out from it. But Minwoo didn't even notice. Oh well, the king just died. This is extremely sad. I know, you're all just heartbroken that King of Finn, our favorite character, has passed on. But as Gordon, who is suddenly very strong and brave, has stated, we do each have our jobs. So we're going to have to head off to the Kingdom of Dice, but before we do that, let's actually learn about Dice, since we know nothing about it. We're going to have to ask Gordon, because Hilda isn't here, about the Dragoons and the Wyverns, because we know nothing about those. Right, learn. Learn, not ask. You gotta learn first. Now, by asking about Dragoons, you learn the term Wyverns. We need both of these, so make sure to learn them both. And I guess we should go looking for Hilda, because she's not in the throne room for some reason. She's probably in her own room, grieving after her father was killed. Well, wasn't necessarily killed, he just passed away because he was all sad. Damn it, I want to talk to you. And of course, that was completely underwhelming, and I could have gotten the same message from that guard over there. Anyway, let's go pay Hilda a visit. She's no doubt just crying her... Hi? Well, you're suddenly acting very creepy, but I'm pretty sure that's just your way of grieving. I shouldn't look into this any more than I already have. Pretty sure that's just her grieving. Anyway, we've got to leave, and I'm sure Hilda will be fine when we get back, so... Well, yep, word travels fast, but at least there were witnesses this time, so she would have actually known from someone. Anyway, next time on Final Fantasy II, we destroyed the Dreadnaught, but now we have to see if we can find these Dragoons so they can be our allies. And if they can't be our allies, then, well, we'll do something else. We haven't really planned this out very far, have we?